We go back to Minnesota. After the horrific shooting that occurred in Minneapolis at a Catholic church where several children and adults were injured, including 2 children who died.
It's true.
By a man who was clearly mentally ill.
Tranny. I don't really care.
The mayor comes out and says, how dare you say that his trans mentalness,
Excuse me, it's ma'am,
had anything to do with the crime.
Are you retarded?
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this is the same mayor who cowardly, literally got on his hands and knees and kissed the funeral casket of the beloved St. George.
Fuck off.
But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Happy Saturday, yes. On a rare weekend edition, I am here. Anyway, the whole situation with the shooting at the Catholic church, the Catholic school in Minneapolis is, of course, extremely tragic. You know, people got injured, kids got injured, and sadly, we lost 2 young lives. But what are we not talking about? Well, if this were just a regular white dude, 40-year-old white dude, here we go again, oh, he must have been MAGA, and he went there and he shot the place up, and look at this guy, and gun control, gun control, gun control. But being that this is a guy who is severely mentally ill, who feels like a dude who likes to be pretty, that was getting a little bit of talk, even in the realms of the CNNs, the MSNBCs, and what have you. It got a little bit of talk, not a lot, got a little bit of talk. When it came to podcasting and those doing videos like myself, yeah, it's a thing. Why? Because it's happened before, multiple times. On a previous video, I said there was 5 times that this occurred. No, I was wrong. 8 times this has occurred. But according to the mayor of Minneapolis, how dare you? How dare you have the gall, the chutzpah, the balls, the nerve to say that his trans mentalness had anything to do with the crime that he committed? He was very, very disturbed, but not because he felt like a woman. This is the same mayor who got on his hands and knees and cried at St. George's funeral. We go to Breitbart. Minneapolis mayor on gender dysphoria contributing to shooting. Trans community suffering. It's not about groups. No, of course not, but we'll hear from him in just a bit. During our interview aired on this past Thursday's broadcast of News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas reports. Does anybody watch that? Yeah, probably not. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey responded to questions on if Minneapolis shooter, his trans mentalness, could have played a role in the mental issues and the shooting by saying, quote, I can't speak on what's in a different individual's brain or mind. Obviously, we love our trans community because of course you do. They're suffering. We love our Catholic community. You sure about that? They're suffering. And we've got to stop making this about groups of people every single time one of these things goes down. Just funny how you say that when a, 40, 45-year-old white male decides to do, a mass shooting. Oh, it's the MAGA white dudes who are committing this, but has nothing to do about groups. Anyway, host Elizabeth Vargas asked, as you know, there's been a lot of focus on the fact that the shooter was a dude, but identified as a chick. He changed his name several years ago from Robert to Robin. You have said it's not important to villainize the trans community, but couldn't it be true that his or her gender dysphoria may have played a role here? Wow. She's asking questions. What? Frey responded, look, villainize the person that committed this horrific act. It was cowardice. It was evil. There should be no dispute there. But anybody who says that this is using the opportunity to villainize our trans community has lost sight with this sense of common humanity. Yes, you've lost focus. Operate not out of hate for any community out there. Any community operate out of love for our children. And when we love our children, we make necessary change that something like this doesn't happen again. It's just not lip service. Way to pivot. Vargas then asked, the shooter, according to reports emerging today in New York Post, reportedly wrote in one of his journals, I'm tired of being trans. I wish I'd never been brainwashed myself. I can't cut my hair now because it would be an embarrassing defeat. Could this have been contributing to his depression, his suicidal indignation, even perhaps? This is not about what team you're on. It should be about kids. It should be about team children. We should be on team love. And the antidote to all this hate that we're seeing nationwide is not more hate. It's not more villainization of a whole group. Villainize the act. But let's hear from Mayor Fry himself.
A few moments ago, Robert to Robin, you have said it's not important. The shooter was born a boy but identified recently as a girl. He changed his name several years ago from Robert to Robin. You have said it's not important to villainize the trans community, but couldn't it also be true that his or her gender dysphoria may have played a role here?
Look,
the simple answer would be yes.
The person that committed this horrific act. It was cowardice. It was evil. There should be no dispute there. But anybody that is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community has lost sight with a sense of common humanity.
It's amazing how this guy, who, of course, now is in the heat of an election year. This happens to be an election year. He's running up against a Somali communist, socialist, Muslim who wants to wreck the city even worse than what it truly is already. But that's a different story. Anyway, for Fry to dismiss the transmentalism that is going on right here, that not just aided, but basically was the main crux of the reason why he did what he did, when he had magazines with End Trump, when he had magazines with, where's your God? When he had things, he had manifests, So we already know how mentally deranged this piece of shit truly was. But to say that his mental illness had nothing to do with what he did, because you really have to be mentally ill to do something so heinous and so evil, like something like this, whether it's against adults or against children. But to dismiss it is ridiculous. To say we're losing focus, don't focus on the trans, don't focus on that, no. Focus on the singular act. I understand that. But you can't dismiss the fact that we had almost 10 instances. 10 instances. I think I've said 8, but I think there may be more. I'm not 100%. But let's just go with 8. 8 instances of transmentalism that has occurred in these mass shootings over the last 3 to 5 years. Think about that. But no, but it has nothing to do with that. Everybody wants to dismiss it. I think it's bullshit. It is a serious contributing factor to what we're looking at here. And I understand now it's about mourning. It's about grieving. It's about giving parents who've lost the 2 little ones, who've had children injured, adults injured, the time to mourn, the time to grieve, the time to console each other, the time to comfort each other, especially in prayer. But Fry's an idiot. He's a fool. He's a moron. He's a buffoon. This is the same guy who literally wept on his hands and knees as he kissed the funeral casket of one St. George, who got on his knees and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, white guilt." So Fry, dude, you're trash. You're an absolute trash and a joke. And if you lose to this clown, to this Somali clown, who's maybe worse than you, and that's saying a lot, wow. Minnesota, Minneapolis, you guys deserve everything you're getting right now. Not the tragic shooting. Absolutely not. No state, no matter how red, no matter how blue, no matter how, excellent run or retardedly run, deserves something so heinous like this. But you, Fry, yeah, dude, you're a joke. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.